So as we know, the Murphy Frost Town Hall, June 29th. Chris Murphy and Frost are coming in. It's going to be 11 to 1. We're going to be able to get in there a little bit early to set up there. It's in low auditorium. It's about 1,700 seats.
So we're looking to fill all 1,700 seats. And why? Because our federal officials refuse to meet with us.
To that point,
should I just say it?
About my call today.
Yeah, to that point. Once word got out that this is happening, we had state Democrats reach out directly to the Murphy Frost team, and we're upset. For lack of better words, that this is happening without their know-how. And then wondering who the heck is this lady in Kansas that we're able to get these people here. So shout out to Katie.
Shout out to Katie.
But the key moment there was they immediately wanted to take it over because they had no idea what was going on.
We told them no.
And we told them this is Leading Kansas, this is nonpartisan, this is for the people, and this is about accountability and leadership. So we stood our ground on that one. Shout out to Senator Murphy and Representative Frost, their team. The Kansas Democratic Party. So they kind of big, but that's a credit to everybody here. This is happening. This is big, and it's making massive waves. So we are up to. I think last I checked. Before on my way here, almost 500 people signed up for it in less than 24 hours. Huge. Yeah, I personally reached out and invited them, and I personally reached out and invited the Republicans as well. They turned it down. They said they would not show up there. But which to that credit, honestly, was a very wonderful interaction. They admitted that. Hey, our leaders are not showing up. They can't get their leaders unless you are a certain funding level or this private secret. So it was actually a wonderful moment where whoever runs their email account and I had a back and forth about that's not leadership, and we can agree on. And that's wonderful. And we should talk about that more.
Can I add something real quick?
So on that note, and Noah already touched on this a little bit, but I did get a call from the Frost yesterday after they had heard from the Kansas Democrats, and they were so cordial and willing to defer to us on this. Obviously, we know there are going to be elected Democrats and maybe Republicans too. I don't know, in the mix, state and local Dems, and we will have some seating reserve for those folks up front because we respect their office. But I think what I told Senator Murphy and Representative Frost is that this is all about accountability. And Noah already put it out there, right? Like, we are so appreciative of them for coming into Wichita, giving us a platform to have Kansans voice their concerns. But at the end of the day, our representatives should be doing this, right? And if we completely hand this over to another organization or a political party, we lose credibility, and two, we lose the ability to push on our lawmakers to show up next time. And on that note, I think it's on the next slide, so we can go ahead and maybe it's later. Well, on that, I'm getting ahead of myself. But Noah already did reach out to our lawmakers and said, hey, just following up on the numerous times that we contacted you earlier this year, we would still love to host you for a town hall. Since you declined or didn't answer us before, we have brought in Frost, but we still really want to meet with you. So, stay tuned. Hopefully they'll answer us. You want to handle this, or you want me to run through this stuff? Yeah.
This afternoon I had a conversation with Representative Martinez in the north part of Wichita. I don't know her exact district, but I'm working with her on a DACA recipient who is facing deportation. Anyway, so we got to talking, and I mentioned Lady Kansas. She hadn't heard of it, and directed her to the website and asked her to show up, and she said she would. Is there any specific other
register, and I don't think so.
Yeah, it's really just get the word out there. Registering is important because we want to know how many people are coming, but we also want to make certain we have space. And then this is going to be a town hall. They are going to be open to questions. So telling people, hey, come with those questions. And given the fact that we are pushing this as an accountability session, as a time to ask what should be our leaders but is not our leaders, then we want to ask the question. There will be people there that are speaking specifically on subjects and things that are touching Wichita, Kansas. So it's important to come with the, okay, this is the national thing, but right here in town, I'm worried about this. I don't want to say kid gloves off, but we need to go with the expectation of you're here to answer questions. And so we have some. Yeah.
Is there a fee if I tell 6 people they want to come? Do they just show up? You're always looking for donations, I know. But is there a minimal ticket price?
Nope, you just have to make sure you register. Has everybody in the room gotten the RSVP link point in time? So if you sign up on that Mobilize link, you should be good to go. We're going to have, and we're going to get to this a little bit later too, but we're going to have, folks, we need 8 to 10 volunteers to check people in. Download an app on their phone to be able to check people in at the door, but that's how we're doing things for this. And so that brings me to the logistics of the town hall. So first of all, for security, given what happened in Minnesota last weekend and just the overall climate, we're going to have bolstered security for this. So not only will Senator Murphy and Representative Frost most likely have hired security with them during their time in Wichita, we also hired private security to have a metal detector to do the one in bag searches at the auditorium when people come in. And we have 2 police officers, armed guards that are going to be there for the duration of the event. As far as setup, obviously with all this going on, we're going to need a little setup. So I have up here arrive at 8. I don't know for sure. That's sort of tentative because that's when we get the space. But I imagine that won't be far off. We'll want to get there, set everything up. We've got security. The private security firm is going to arrive at 9:30 to get their stuff set up. Then doors open at 10 to be able to check everybody in and get them all metal detectors. Actually, it'll be go through the metal detectors first, and then we'll check them in with those volunteers. They're out. The run of the show real quickly. We will introduce the town hall, either Noah or myself or us together, and then we're going to dive right into a handful of community speakers. And this is really what I wanted your input on tonight. So what Senator Murphy and Representative Frost like to do is take issues that are pivotal either on the national scene or to the local community, and they want to have a call to action. So what we've talked to their staff about is having a handful of speakers from local community orgs speak on certain issues. What they have asked, one name that's thrown out there is the Kansas Immigration Coalition. I don't think Jessica Carr's here tonight. I know she does a lot of work with them. She's an avid Leading Kansas volunteer. So I'm going to connect with her and see if they're interested in speaking. They have also mentioned, help me out, it was the Alliance for Healthy Kansas? Alliance for a Healthy Kansas. Is anybody familiar with that? So they want somebody really to talk about these Medicaid cuts. So if you guys have specific individuals with that organization, please let us know because I'm not familiar with that organization. And these would be just speakers to get up and today they said keep it to like 3 minutes, just 3 minutes of remarks on these topics. So we've got immigration, we've got Medicaid cuts, and then there's a group that I'm part of called Kansas Women Attorneys for Freedom. They have a meeting tomorrow, and I'm going to pitch this to them. But they are really getting geared up to fight this the ballot measure next August that deals with the change to our judicial selection process here in Kansas. So that is obviously about protecting our pillars, protecting our institutions, and so we would like to have somebody from that organization speak on that judicial selection ballot measure. And then lastly, they want somebody, a union person to come speak. And we thought that Jake Mullen with the Wichita Hutchinson Labor Federation. I think that's right. He did a phenomenal job. He was the speaker at our Hands Off Kansas rally, and I thought he did a great job. So, you know, that was the other person that we were considering invitations to. But this is your town hall. So, you know, if there are other community orgs that you think should have a voice, let us know. Those were the issues that they wanted to focus on: Medicaid, immigration, and the judicial selection process, and then unions. So, yeah, Min, go ahead.
I really would love for our group to start doing
Education.
pretty sure would be willing to come and do that.
Okay, we'll put it down. So those are the things that we need to hammer out in the next. Oh, were you not done?
DEI is major.
Yeah.
Women are 77 cents on a dollar here.
Yeah.
You're really hurting here in Kansas, and DEI was what was happening.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't know who
Okay. Point well taken. So those are the things that we're going to be trying to nail down in the next few days. After those community speakers go, like I said, I don't envision that being more than 3 minutes apiece. Then Representative Frost will come out, deliver his remarks. Senator Murphy will come out, deliver a few remarks, and then they'll open it up to a Q&A. Just so you guys know, they have requested, and this is neither here nor there, this is just a heads up, they want seats, chairs on the stage behind them, sort of to have that community feel surrounding them. So we're working on that. That might be sort of the stage layout for this event, as well as a full auditorium. I'm going to.
Kansas t-shirts, I assume.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We need to pack it. Yeah, sitting in the chairs, people sitting up there with them, behind them. So yeah, I'm hoping we can have a say in who we put up there on the stage. But we do want to reiterate that this is nonpartisan in nature, and that the reason for that, even though these are obviously political figures, partisan political figures, we as an organization have chosen not to be. And the issues that we are most concerned about, I would argue, are not partisan issues. But the other reason that this is up on this slide is that we have an obligation, because we are renting a space from Wichita State University, to comply with their rules about renting facilities on campus, and one of those is that we are nonpartisan. So we are very cognizant of that, and that's another reason why we have chosen not to partner on this event. Outreach strategy. They want young people there. They also, I put up there, communities of color need to be engaged too. We need everybody in our community to get out and ask questions, but I do think that this is a tremendous opportunity for young Kansans to get there and see somebody like Representative Frost, who's only 27 years old, engaged in politics and fighting for the people. And so I was going to pitch it to you guys. If anyone has specific youth organizations, young people organizations, college, WSU organizations that they think we need to be reaching out to at this juncture, please let us know. And even more so, if you will volunteer to help with that work, we would love it, because we've got to get young people to turn out and to engage. They're the future. They've got to be engaged in this moment. Yeah, Josh? I know. Yeah.
So, interestingly enough, I do want to get some people that want to work on that. So we actually have the Manhattan, Kansas organization of students interested in this event. And they are fired up to the point of offering volunteers, offering financial support, drive down morning of to set up. They are fired. Wow. So connecting them with places here in town is what we need to do. But go ahead. Sorry. But one thing that I do want to say is a lot of the conversation that has been happening is around, when we talk about communities of color being engaged, realistically the understanding, and this is Noah ripping the Band-Aid off of myself, is that the wrong answer is, hey, why aren't you showing up? The right answer is, I understand that you haven't felt safe and or heard. This is an opportunity where we want to hear from you. What can we do to facilitate that?
If we have little quarter sections about the event, the Juneteenth is taking place.
Yes.
We could start just handing them out. That's something I can print off from the website. I could just, when I go to Juneteenth, I can just start handing them out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saturday is the Juneteenth parade at Holy Savior. starts at 10 o'clock, goes till noon. I think they're gonna have a whole, carnival kind of setup over there at Dunbar Park. So I'm gonna be there on behalf of the Cinder County Grassroots Games, but I'll be glad to hand out the Kansas stuff and try to get people involved with that. Anybody else can show up too.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, especially when we look at what just happened on No Kings. And even that morning with a group of people in the pouring rain choosing to march, fully understanding what that was for and the danger associated with that. This should be presented as a place for all Kansans, for all individuals to show up and ask questions. We are here to facilitate that. And so we are extending that branch to say this is a place where you can come and you can ask questions. We know you have them. You're going to be safe here. So that's something that Noah's learning. So
I've got to give a shout out to Etziri campus. She's the one that organized the march, the Families Belong Together march on Saturday morning. She's a phenomenal young lady. I think of her as a really young lady because she was my nanny when she was in college, and she's got her own kids now, but she's a dreamer. She's here under the DACA program, and I was so heartened when she called last Thursday and said she was organizing that march in the pouring rain nonetheless, and it went off without a hitch. And so any support we can throw their way, I think it's important work. She's doing very important work right now. Oh, last on that slide, you don't have to go back. We are going to tour the facility, Low Auditorium, next Monday. For folks like Catherine and Aaron, I know I sent you guys an email, but if anybody else plans to be sort of at the heart of that volunteer work on the day of, you're welcome to join us for a tour of the facility to just get a lay of the land. So it's at 2 p.m. that day. So just let me know so I can give them a heads up. Yes, Cindy. Should be. Yeah, they've got a huge parking lot. So 2 p.m. Monday. Yeah. And Aaron and Catherine, you guys want to take this slide?
Okay, so we are finally launching the volunteer sign up for the Murphy Frost Town Hall. So I know a lot of you have been waiting for it. We have it ready to go. We'll be sending out an email tonight. Signups will be via Sign Up Genius. We also have a QR code here today for people who want to do it now before you leave. So we are going to have 2 teams of volunteers. The first team is our check-in attendants. Those volunteers will be required to download an app on their phones. And as people come in, you will be changing the status of these people's attendance via the app. We will provide training, but it will probably just be right before the event.
I do. Busy next week.
Yeah, we do have like written instructions from mobilize.us, but I was unable to find a video showing how to do this for those of us who like to see videos of things.
Basically, it's drop-down box.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. But that's the first team. 8 to 10 people will be required for that. That is our most critical team. Second team is our general event support. Is that up there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
It is.
And that's going to be folks for kind of just on call, whatever we need. We have some ideas about what we'd like to be doing, but we're not sure what all of our options are. So we want to have a table run with leading Kansas information. We know we still want people directing folks to the event, making sure they can navigate the WSU campus, that sort of stuff. And we're asking for 10 people for that. But I think it's like, we think maybe minimum we could make it work with 6 to 8. So
that is correct. No, it's at 29th and
Oh, sorry, it's
Oliver.
Metroplex. My bad.
That's where the Metroplex is at.
Yeah, my bad.
It's okay. She's doing all the talking because I can't.
Okay. And then the other thing we wanted to discuss with everyone is it's getting real close to both events, and we're running out of time. So normally we would love to have a volunteer orientation, but because their team is handling most of the heavy lifting, we are not planning on having a Zoom call the way we're having with our Constitution at a Crossroads. So if the need arises, we will figure something out. I don't know, we'll huddle before or after one of these meetings. We'll always be available via email We're working on getting, I don't know, a phone number set up for, being available that way, that sort of stuff. So
We're working on a lot of stuff.
yeah, there's a lot. But we just kind of wanted to gauge if anyone has concerns about that based on the description of what we just talked about volunteers doing. She's going to be organizing snacks for the event. We will be having blueberries and graham crackers. Is there anything I missed, Erin?
Nope.
Okay. All right. If you need us, we'll be back there.
Well, I just wanted to take a minute to thank these ladies because I roped them in. And then immediately after they said yes, I was like, well, guess what? We've got 2 big, huge events back to back, and you're in charge. So they're awesome, and they're on top of it. So, yeah. Thank you, ladies.
The civic demand. So during these 2 events, obviously this is something critical, having people there to help, one, either direct people to our website to sign the civic demand, or 2, get hand signatures while we're there. We're around 700-ish signatures right now, slowly going, but if we're going to have the constitutional panel and then 1,700 people showing up for our town hall with Murphy and Frost team, then we should skyrocket those numbers. So when we think about volunteers, also think about that. If you're willing to, I know Bill's I believe he's on the Zoom. Bill was definitely all about it. So if you want to take part in that and help with those to be able to get those signatures, please do, especially when we look towards, like we said, we're leaving this trail of breadcrumbs. This is another breadcrumb that we can say this has been out. There's so many people that are answering this, because if their response to this town hall is, well, we don't have to come, you guys already had that. So some sort of snark like that, as is the political landscape of these days, we can say, no, there's 700 people here that say you better get your butts here. So let's make that, there's 1,700 plus 720 math, 2,400, right? Yeah, education.